Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason Laporte. As always, my co-host, Mr. Zach Partridge. How you doing, sir?
Good. How you doing?
It's good. It's Tuesday. It's nice and warm outside.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a great day today.
About to go to some jiu-jitsu.
Gi or no gi?
Gi.
Come on, Zach, say it.
We're gonna be in pajamas.
Although doesn't listen.
It's true, but I'm gonna be in my gi, and I like my gi because my coach says that I need more gi jiu-jitsu in my life. So.
Something tells me you're full of crap.
You can be good in the gi. You can be good at no gi. That's what I've always.
That's a good point. So we got another fighter spotlight on today. We got my man Skyler, the Utah Kid Frazier, who is you're quite the popular guy, man. We've had quite a few requests to get you on here.
That's really awesome, man. Like I said, it's really humbling. I'm just a guy at the end of the day, you know. I definitely try to put off a positive vibe. So maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. I'm just a guy at the end of the day, though.
Yeah, we're all just guys. We just have a different outlet than most people.
Exactly.
So get to it, and I think you did kind of answer it in a post, but just for those that don't know, where you been for 3.5 years, bro?
Yeah, that's a really good question. You know, honestly, I've just been focused on myself, letting my body heal. I had a couple of hard fights that I took a little too much damage, you know, and it was just a time in my life where I needed to take a step back from fighting and really evaluate what I wanted to do with my life and just make sure that's really what I wanted to be doing at the time. And like I said, I was always very entrepreneurial, and I wanted to have something to fall back on after fighting. And so that's kind of where I was. I'm still young. So I took a step back from fighting, started some business ventures, got into business, started doing my own thing, and was able to fulfill another lifelong dream, which was become self-employed. So I've been doing that for about
Awesome.
2.5 years now. And it really allowed me to just focus more on myself and heal my body. And then I figured if I ever got back to fighting, I could set my own schedule. I could train what I wanted. I could do things when I wanted. I didn't have to wake up to an alarm clock every morning telling me I had to show up to work, right?
Yes.
Now it's actually I have to wake up to an alarm clock telling me I have to go to strength conditioning, and I'm okay with that. So that's kind of where I've been, you know, just had some business ventures, really focused on just growing my life financially and just becoming, free as far as not having to show up and work for somebody every day.
Amen.
So
all three of us are entrepreneurs. So, I mean,
yeah,
I bought my first business when I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
Kidding. Yeah. And, you know, Jason, he's a coach, and he's on his own doing his thing, Damage Plan.
Yeah. It's awesome.
We're all wired that way, I think.
Once you taste that, it's kind of hard to get back into the corporate world and like you said, wake up to an alarm clock and say, hey, I got to be somewhere at a certain time. It's like, no, yeah. I'll control what I make and what I do.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different mindset, right? And not everybody functions on that mindset, and that's okay. You know, not everybody
is okay.
there, but that's just what I needed in my life to bring me more fulfillment, and so that's what I did, man. I chased that, and here I am. I'm, full circle, and now I'm back to the cage, and I'm not really surprised.
Yeah. So you're coming back along with a handful of other showdown fighters, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the same thing I'm asking them. Is this I'm coming back for one fight, or is this I'm back and I'm fighting now again?
That's a really good question. I'm curious to know what everyone else's answer was.
We had both. Yeah, we had some that were like, this is probably just a one and done because they love Will and they wanted to be a part of this card and this event. And then, then there's Jerome Hatch, who's like, no, I'm back. Like I want to actively start fighting again,
Right. You know what? For me personally, I don't want to look too far ahead. I'm trying to be better at just being in the moment, right? So the biggest thing on my mind right now is just today. And just focusing on the task at hand, which is the upcoming fight at the 14th, and I'm really looking forward to that. And just training hard, showing up for that particular moment, that particular time, and just doing my thing then. Now, I don't really know what happens after that. I don't know if there's more fights on the horizon. I don't really know. And I'm okay with that, right? We're not supposed to always know everything.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking it in that sense, right? I'm focused on what I have on my plate, and I'm going to take care of that. And then whatever comes after that, then so be it. I'm cool with that. And I'm going to take that on as it comes. So right now, I can't really give you a for sure answer. I don't know what the future really holds. I don't know if it's going to be 10 more fights. I don't know if this could be the last one. I don't know if there's going to be 2 more fights.
Yeah.
I just know that I'm going to show up and be the best that I can on the 14th, and I'm going to do my thing, and I'm going to be proud of showing up and putting it on the 14th. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So I'm reading into this a little bit, but that was definitely like, I'm open to the idea of continuing fighting after this.
Yeah, and I am, and I really am. It's not that I'm done, right? But there's a lot of things like
I get that too.
It has to fall in line with a lot of things for me, I guess. Like, money has always been a thing for me, and I hate to throw that out there as like, well, if you love it, it shouldn't matter about the money. And it's like, yeah, but it's like, it's also fighting, and it's also very dangerous. And like, I want to have kids and a family someday, and I don't want to be punch drunk by the time I'm 35 and things like that. Right. So you have to take those things into account.
Well,
I'm a guy who really values my time. And so if I'm going to show up and sacrifice hours and hours and hours and, of time with my friends and my family because I'm training all the time, I want to get compensated well for that.
Yeah, as you should. All you guys should be getting compensated.
I agree.
I mean, I was talking about it with my wife. There's a handful of people in my inner circle that would like me to be done fighting relatively soon.
Hillary is probably one of them.
Yeah, I mean, she's supportive, but like, I have 3 kids, so it's like, I have 3 little boys. Like I'm going to be coaching a junior jazz basketball game the morning of our fight.
Wow.
Next Saturday, you know what I mean? Like I'm a dad first, so it's like
exactly.
And so we're gonna be getting here I have 3 little boys, 8 and 5. We're gonna be getting here really soon, where it's like I'll only be able to take fights in between their sports seasons because I don't want to miss their sports.
Yeah.
I want to be there for their sports more than I want to fight, but I do want to fight. And so then it's like, when's going to be your next fight? I'm like, let's see what lines up,
100%. I think there's always just a bigger picture, and it's, like I said, I love fighting. It is who I am. I would never stop fighting if the money was right. I would have never took a break. I can assure you that. It doesn't matter how beat up I was, because it is who I am. It's genuinely who I am.
Yeah.
But I'm also wise enough to understand that it has to be a business too. I have to make money doing this. The risk versus reward factor, it's there, right? So you got to figure out where that balance is. And so that's all it is for me.
That's cool.
Nice.
Well, so your original opponent was somebody that you wanted to fight.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it sounds like some feedback that, a lot of people wanted to see that fight. And unfortunately, that fight's not going to happen now.
Yeah.
And you have a new opponent.
Correct.
So one is, what do you know about your new opponent? But then 2, it's like, obviously you got to fight again at some point because you still got to get that one. You wanted that fight for a reason. I'll take it.
Yeah. It's not even, I wanted to fight because I know, I'm not here to talk shit, but at the same time, it's like,
go for it.
Yeah.
I know Weston didn't want that fight, man. Like, after the first time we fought when we were amateurs, I'll just be super candid. I beat the shit out of the guy, right? But at the same time, he won the fight. He won the fight with about 20 seconds left in the 3rd round via triangle choke. And so it just due to fight IQ, right? Just not understanding.
Yeah.
I had the fight won. I just took the fight somewhere where it didn't even need to be, right? So just fight IQ. But nonetheless, no excuses. He won the fight fair and square, right? But, the ending the ending doesn't really tell, the whole story of the fight, right? If someone
Yep.
watched the fight, they'd be like, okay, yeah, we see what happened here. But no, I mean, Weston is a thing of the past now. I don't care if he wants to fight in the future, whatever. That's really, I'm not even focused on Weston anymore. Right. My new opponent is somebody from Idaho. His name's Ben Hollier. It looks like a really good wrestler. I'm definitely taking him seriously. I know he's taking the fight on short notice, but you know, me being a wrestler, knowing wrestlers, they're typically in good shape, even when they're not in good shape.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm expecting to have a tough fight still, and I'm looking forward to that. I think Ben's going to be a game opponent, so I'm going to show up, and I'm still going to do my thing regardless. It doesn't matter who is across from me on the 14th. I'm going to hurt somebody.
I like it. I like it. Razor Sharp chimed in and said, shout out, Steve. Thanks for watching, man. He said Skyler needs to be on the Dana White Contender Series. I don't know if you could see that comment on there.
I can see that, actually. Yeah.
There you go. He's watching, and then Zach Trujillo's watching too.
What's up, Zach?
So I'm really interested you know, it's got to be worth the squeeze. So, you know, took a break. How actively involved were you? Were you still going to the gym training? Were you still going to MMA shows? Are you still pretty up to date with like what's been going on in local MMA? Do you still follow the UFC, stuff like that?
I definitely follow the UFC. Like I said, I'm a fighter. I didn't really follow the local scene very much, other than, you know, I followed my boy Samson Pham about, of course, just doing his jiu-jitsu ventures, things like that. And then he had his fight in I think it was LFA. And it might have been, he had a fight in LFA.
Him and Bobby King.
And for Fear. Yeah, so he had 2 fights. So, of course, I followed that. Me and Samson go way back. He was one of my, you know, really good training partners. I've actually been working with him this camp as well.
Excellent.
As far as training, I definitely am just a stay in shape kind of guy. Like, that's the lifestyle that I live. So I'm always working out. I'm staying in shape. I like to think of it as I'm never too far from fight shape. Of course, fight shape is a much different kind of shape than just working out of the gym, right? But I was somewhat so involved in training. Like I said, I was mostly focused on just my business and getting that up and running. But I've, in a sense, to me, I feel like fighting has always been something like riding a bike. It's just something that I can get back on. You know, give me a few hours, give me a few weeks, and I'm going to be right back. I'm going to be right back there. So I've felt that through my training camp. I still feel really good and really sharp. So
nice.
What do you think's changed the most in 3.5 years?
Honestly, just become a better man, honestly. And just, I think from the breaks that I've had in the past, I've been able to gain a lot of clarity about past fights and just a lot of clarity in just who I am as a person, right? So I feel like every time I've taken a break, I've come back and been 10 times better. Just because my mental game has been so I've just done so much more mentally and just been able to prepare so much more mentally. I just feel like my mental game has just come a long way every single time I've taken a break, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I just feel more calm. I'm just more one with myself. If that, you know, might sound funny to people, but in the fight game, I always tell people this. I never beat a single opponent because I was more physically fit than them or more athletic than them. I beat them because I was more mentally prepared than them. I was more mentally willing to sacrifice more than them. I would beat people, and I would look at them in weigh-ins, and I'd already know that I'd beat them. And so, it's just like wrestling. Like, as a wrestler, the head or the body follows the head, right? Wherever you pull the head, the body's going to follow. And it's the same thing with the mind. Wherever your mind mentally is, your body is going to show up and do the same thing, right? So I've always just been more mentally prepared than my opponents. I'm willing to go further than they are, and I'm willing to do things that they're not. And so when the cage shuts on the 14th, I know that I'm going to win. And I don't say that in an unhumble manner, but I just know I've done what it takes, and I'm there mentally, and I'm going to win the fight. And I know that.
I like it. I love it. Love it. Skylar, what business do you have?
So I do real estate, flip houses.
Okay.
So done a couple deals. And then I also do sales for a company called Pet Door Products.
Okay.
So they contract me out to do their sales for them here locally. So I do that and do real estate, and that keeps me pretty busy, man. I'm super grateful.
So you and Joel are out there flipping houses. Joel just commented on there.
Yeah, Joel's my guy. So me and Joel actually we work hand in hand. So Joel actually feed me deals because he's an agent. He doesn't feed me deals, but he'll send me anything that looks like a deal, right? And then me
for sure
conversate and try to put deals together so he can get paid and I get paid. So it works out hand in hand. It's really cool.
I like it. Heck yeah.
And we're gonna have to talk. I want to get into that.
Yeah. Honestly, man, it's like it's the way to go, man.
Sorry, my wife, don't kill me.
It's a lot of fun too, man. I'm not only a fighter, man. I can think with my head too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk after the 14th. We'll have to sit down and go to lunch or something.
I like it.
And, we'll get the wheels turning. What do you? So you still been following the UFC and stuff. So who are some of the guys that you like? Who are you fans of?
Of course, Uriah Faber's my guy. Always been my guy.
Uriah's been your guy.
When I first started fighting, that was the first person that I came across. I remember when I was 14 years old, there was a WEC magazine on the table, and it was him on the front, and that's what caught my interest. So I started looking through the fight magazine. And I was like, damn, I really want to do that. And I was already wrestling at that time. I started wrestling at a young age. And so, of course, Uriah is definitely my guy, always going to be my guy. TJ Dillashaw, go ahead.
I gotta ask, did you want to see him fight Peter Yan when they fought? Or are you kind of like, you want Uriah to retire?
Yeah, I don't know. Uriah is always a game opponent, man. He's a very mentally strong kind of person, too.
For sure.
Like, even when he gets beat up, he doesn't really get beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he
always makes it a good fight. So I don't know. I mean, the guy's a legend as it is, I mean, he is. He's a legend. He's probably the best UFC fighter at that weight class that never had a belt.
Oh, hands down. That didn't get to the UFC gold.
Yeah. Zach and I actually have some Team Alpha Male shirts that we just got a couple weeks ago.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of TJ Dillashaw too, man. That's my guy. I was able to work with me and Joel actually have got to go have a couple seminars with Dwayne Ludwig,
nice.
TJ's striking coach. And so that was really cool. So we did that. We did 2 different seminars in Montana a few years back. So that's been cool. I've always been a big fan of TJ. I just like his footwork and the way he moves.
Yeah. Can you be a fan of Uriah Faber and TJ Dillashaw now, though?
Absolutely.
Can you? That's like we're in the middle of an election today. Like that's like being cool with Trump and Biden. It doesn't really happen.
That's funny. See, I'm always the guy like in the middle. Like someone has something to say on the outside, and someone has something to say about the other guy, and I'm just like the guy in the middle. Like, yeah, I don't give a shit.
I like both of them.
I'm like, I like him, and and if you don't like me, then F you. That's kind of how I am, man. I just don't care. I know it was crazy. They're both good fighters, regardless.
Oh yeah. What do you think the landscape looks like when TJ comes back at the beginning of next year?
Yeah, man, that's it's definitely interesting.
I still think he's the best bantamweight in the world.
I think so too. I absolutely do. It's interesting. I'm kind of wondering like what Dominic Cruz is doing. Dominic Cruz, I know, has had a ton of injuries, but he's, I follow Dominic Cruz. He's always posting. He's always staying in shape. Looks like you never really know what that guy's doing, but it is interesting. I think TJ goes back to the top, gets the belt again. Absolutely. Hands down.
That division's so crazy stacked right now, and there's so many good fighters. Like, man, the big question is like, who does TJ? It's gonna be really interesting to see who he gets first.
Yeah, that is gonna be interesting. Probably someone tough. I don't think they're gonna throw him. It's gotta be
like a Marlon Moraes or somebody, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
which is a good fight, honestly.
Yeah.
Good fight.
Banging
fight.
Well, back to your fight. If there's one fight, so this isn't fair because you have tons of teammates on this card too. But besides you and the Absolute team,
sure.
What's the one fight on this card you're looking forward to the most besides your own?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's a lot of them, honestly. I'm really looking forward to, Joel's fight. I probably won't be able to watch it. Well, I guess he is going to be fighting before me, so I might be able to watch it. I don't know how they're going to have the venue set up, if there's going to be TVs in the back, but I'm looking forward to Joel's fight, for him being this is going to be his first professional fight. I've trained with Joel for a really long time, and that kid he's really good for just becoming a professional. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to him to putting in some serious work. So I'm looking forward to that fight. Mitch's fight's going to be really good. I think Mitch is going to do really great.
He's got a new opponent now too.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah. Trevor's wife or something ended up getting COVID, so they had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and he ended up the guy. I did a little research on his opponent that he's gotten. It's going to be a tough fight.
Yeah, and Mitch is a really tough kid, man. Mitch really has it mentally too. I believe, just from talking with Mitch, he has it up here, right? And
yes, well, yeah,
he's doing the right things to be successful, and I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's going to show out and do really well. Of course, I'm looking forward to Steven.
I think everybody's looking forward to that one.
When I first started fighting and came to Absolute, Steven was there. And I used to get my ass kicked by Cameron, Pacheco, and Steven, and the whole Absolute team back in the day when I was just a young gun. I was like 17, and I would just get the shit kicked out of me all the time. And so it's fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing him get back in the cage. I know he's really looking forward to that, and that's really cool. So
I got to give a shout out to my daughter. That's my daughter that just commented. She's 10. She watches our fighter spotlights. Hi, Shaylee.
Hello, Shaylee. That's all.
Well, right on, man. Do you have any sponsors or anybody that you want to?
Steve says lies. Steve says you're telling lies, Skylar.
Bullshit. Yeah, I got a quite a bit of sponsors. Goodwin Chiropractic, located up here in Draper. They've been taking care of me. They have for the last 5+ years in my fight camp. Tim Goodwin is taking really good care of me. Pat Garcia out of Ultimate Sports Rehabilitation Center, he's taken really good care of me. Not only that, he's my wrestling coach. Without those two guys alone, I wouldn't have made it to half of the fights that I was supposed to fight in without those two guys. They've got me through the worst injuries and made it, possible for me to actually show up and fight. And I'm a pretty stubborn guy. I'll put up with, an injury and fight through it and still show up, because to me, it's like I win half the battle if I just show up that night. Right. And so, I really got to give it up to those guys. Rockwell, I don't know really where we stand with Rockwell, but they've always taken really good care of me. Let's see who else.
Rockwell has a sweet promotion going on for veterans. If you guys haven't seen that,
I did see that. They're awesome.
That is awesome. You just buy you buy anything on the website, and they'll ship you a free veteran watch. Which is if I didn't already have the watch, I would have totally gotten it.
Right. No, they're awesome, man. Johnny Ritchie has been really good to work with. Those guys have always taken really good care of me. I have a buddy who does real estate out in Vegas, Regis Mears. He hopped on my banner. Just a kid I went to high school with, man, just believes in me and was like, hey, man, if I could just get my logo on your banner, I would love to help you out. And it's like, it's crazy, man. Like, sometimes we don't understand that the outreach that we really have and how we affect people. And it's like, I have people that reach out to me that are like, hey, man, we'd love to do anything for you. And people I haven't talked to for years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I definitely want to give a big shout out to Regis. My buddy, Ryan Wimmer, who owns Copper City Construction. He also hopped on my banner. And he's one of my really good friends. I grew up with him, went to high school with him. He does full remodels and things like that. So if you need your house remodeled, your bathroom, reach out to him. He can definitely help you out. I can't say enough about his work. He's a perfectionist. I mean, he's the type of guy, when he's going to do something for you, it's going to be perfect. So definitely big shout out to him. Who else? I know there's my buddy Dakota Case. He's a tattoo artist. He works at, oh my gosh, I can't even remember what. Anyways, his name's Dakota Case. He goes by Dak Case or Dak Art on Instagram. And man, that guy's took such good care of me. He bought me a brand new mouthpiece. He sponsored me, bought me a brand new mouthpiece for this fight, bought me a new gym bag, and put my whole banner together and bought some flyers for some of the table seats. I mean, I am the most grateful guy you'll probably ever meet, because I have people who I have just the best friends and family and people in my corner. I think that's why I've been able to go so far with the things that I do, is because I just have great people in my corner, man. I'm just the way I like to tell people is I'm just the product on the shelf, right? And so people just come to the store and grab the product off the shelf, but they have no idea what went into the product to actually get it to the shelf, right? Yep. And so that's just me. I'm just the product on the shelf, and it's so much further than that. It's all these guys helping me get to where I am. So I'll never take all the credit for where I'm at ever. It's a gang of people that have continuously showed love and support over the years and have always just been there for me. So there's a lot of people. I might have forgot some people. If I did, I'm sorry. Yeah, man, I'm super grateful. So shout out to all those guys for helping me out. I love you guys.
Cool.
Sweet, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on, man. It was a good one.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you. We'll be watching on the 14th. Well, I'll be watching on my computer since I can't be there live. So I'll be watching both of you guys on the 14th.
Hell yeah.
See you next week.
Right on, Skyler. Have a good day, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
And that.